अस्सलाम वालेकुम नाज़रीन, सिंध टेलीविजन न्यूज़ जे पारां मां आहियां जो मेज़बान फयाज़ नाइच। नाज़रीन, हिन वक़्तु असां मौजूद आहियूं न्यूयॉर्क शहर जे डिस्ट्रिक्ट 14 जी जेका कम्युनिटी बोर्ड जी जेका सरबराह आहे शॉन कैम्पबेल साहिबा, उन सां गुफ़्तगू कंदासीं। जो तव्हां गुफ़्तगू खे शुरूआत कयूं। हेलो।
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Actually, we are here to make a documentary on the local government system of the United States. So we just want to start with your interview. What is the role of, what is a community board?
So the community board is the most local form of city government. We are the liaison between all city agencies and the communities we represent. Each community board is representative of a geographic district in New York City. So New York City has 59 community boards. Each one of them tends to be coterminous with a police precinct and a sanitation garage. So we work very closely with those two agencies, but also then we react to community concerns about Department of Transportation, Department of Buildings, Department of Health and Mental Hygiene, and are often complaint-driven, but also try to set policies that improve our respective communities. There are 50 board members on each community board, and those board members are appointed by the local borough president. Half of the board members are nominated by the city council members that overlap with each community board. So I have 50 board members, all from this area, and I serve at the pleasure of the board. The community board staff includes myself and two community associates, and so we do the day-to-day work of the district.
So you, community board works with the sanitation and the police department?
Well, we share the same geographic district, so our borders are the same as those two agencies, but we also work very closely with all of the other city agencies that are service delivery agencies.
So what is your role?
Well, we're here to try to make the community ever better. We deal with a lot of quality of life complaints. So if somebody wants to, if there's a noise complaint, they might bring that to our attention to try to resolve that matter. In that case, we try to interact with the local police precinct to address those issues, unless it's a construction noise complaint. And then we call the Department of Buildings to try to deal with that issue. Oftentimes people want to request traffic calming devices on their street. They might want a stop sign or a speed hump. So they bring those requests through our office, and we facilitate all community requests and community complaints. We also have a proactive role. We are responsible for approving all street activity permits. So in the middle of the summer, we have Mela, and so the permit for Mela goes through this office. We also have a say in when the State Liquor Authority applications come from restaurants and bars. We have to approve those. And we also have a lot of land use responsibilities. When somebody is building a house or a community facility, and they need a special permit or a zoning variance, that has to come through a special hearing in this office.
So you also play the role as a building control authority. Is it so or something?
I think that would be an overstatement. I mean, our role is simply to, there are many construction sites that are called as of right. That means that they're going to build within the given zoning regulations. But if somebody wants an exception to that rule, they need a special permit or a zoning variance, then those are the issues that come through the community board.
Where from you get the budget?
Oh, our budget, we're a city-funded agency. So it's just through the regular budget of the city of New York. And it's a modest budget, which is why we have a small staff, but it's through the regular expense budget of the City of New York.
So that budget is being approved by the City Council?
The City Council and the Mayor come to a budget agreement, usually in the spring or early summer, and the community boards are in that budget. Just like another city agency, the sanitation budget comes through the city budgeting process. But the community board also plays a role in budget requests from other city agencies. So based on the requests that we get in this office, we will make priority requests for the budget for the mayor and the city council to consider, both capital and expense budget requests that come from community boards. fall sit down with all of the major city agencies and have a budget consultation with those agencies to try to identify the priorities in those agencies' budgets.
So you have a role in the budget making process of the city
For the
council?
city, yes.
Okay. Now, what kind of role city community board has in education and health activities?
Well, that might vary a little bit from board to board. The Department of Education is really, legally, it's a state entity. So we don't have a regular liaison to the Department of Education, but because we have 22 schools in this district, we do interact frequently with the local schools themselves. So for instance, PS 217, a local school around the corner, has a construction project coming up, and so we've been involved in trying to work with the school construction authority to ensure that the kids still have some playground space while the construction is going on. So, those issues we address as they arise, but there's no policy level involvement. There's nobody from the schools that are on my community district service cabinet.
And same is for health?
As far as health, the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene is a city agency. So with that agency, we do have a liaison who comes every other month. I have a meeting, it's called a cabinet meeting, where representatives from all of the city agencies come to this room and we sit down and we discuss issues or intergovernmental issues that we need to address as a team. And the Department of Health and Mental Hygiene has a representative that comes to that. We call it DOHMH, or is the acronym for Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. So our main health issues in this area, we've tried to get information out if there's a health advisory. We also work with, sorry to say, but we have a large rat population, a rodent population in this district because we have so many underground railroad tracks. That lends itself to that. So those have been some of the issues that we deal with on Department of Health and Mental Hygiene.
So you were saying that your board also works with the transportation. Do you have any role in the metro activities?
Well, as far as transportation activities go, we field, that is the #1 agency in terms of the number of requests that we get in this office. So whether it be for a stop sign or a red light or a speed hump or a left turn ban, those requests will all come through here. But also the department, so our role is to take the community request to the department, but we also take the department policies and programs to the community. So for instance, right now, this evening our board has a meeting tonight, and there will be a proposal put before our board to establish a pedestrian plaza over by Brooklyn College, where they'll close a portion of a street called Hillel Place. They'll permanently close that for traffic in order to create a more recreational pedestrian plaza that should benefit there's a college nearby and businesses nearby, but the Department of Transportation has to get community board approval to move forward with that plan.
Why you are interested in this community board? Do you have any?
Well, so I've worked in this community for more than 20 years. I started out as an executive director of a small community-based organization that served families with young children. And through that job, I met 2 elected officials. I later on went on to work as a community relations associate with a state senator. And then from there, went and worked for a different elected official, a state assembly member. So both the state senator and the state assembly member with whom I worked had districts that overlapped with this district. So I've been coming to community board meetings as a representative of local elected officials for many years, and when the job opportunity presented itself, I was excited to just take on a different role, and I felt like I could hit the ground running because I already knew a part of the community, and it's been it's very, very gratifying to continue to work in a community that I have ties with and to try to make the community, to improve it, and to work with so many people who bring their energy and time for the same purpose.
There is an area in your